So, Allison, I know we have milestones and badges for fundraisers, and that's a good feature to help kind of promote people to raise money. What are some of the updates we've had to that recently, and what are some tips on setting that up?
Yeah, so milestones and badges are a really fun, dynamic gamification way that you can automate fundraiser rewards and engagement. So you can offer different types of milestones and badges in a variety of categories in our system. And right here, I have them set up for amount raised. You can see when I hover over the actual badges, I get like a little snippet of what the badge is called that I've earned. And I have this nice trophy case to display them all. And I get that nice preview on my fundraising profile. And what we've added recently is a way to set up an automated notification that sends to the fundraiser when they achieve a milestone. So I'm going to show you this new update. So you can go into fundraising, individual fundraisers, and then fundraiser rewards. And you see here, I have got my milestones set up. So here you can see I've got different milestones available to set up these badges, and I've set up amount raised. And these new notifications are available for any milestone type that is amount raised or number of donors. And you'll see here I've got my image uploaded, I've got my amount raised amount set here, and my label. And I have a new option called Configure the Achieved Email. And so I can click into here, and I have an option to enable an email notification when the milestone's achieved. And there's two different things I can add here. I can add the subject line, and I can also add the text. And the notification automatically pulls in the dynamic content around like what badge I earned, and it's going to feature this text in a really nicely stylized email. And this is such a nice feature for your nonprofit because you're able to set this up and just let it run automatically. And so whether you have, 10 or 1,000 fundraisers, this email is just going to go out as these milestones get achieved. And you can set up a whole series of notifications. So I have that set up for the $100 one. And then I've got this email set up for the $250 one. And you can, congratulate them. You can call out the achievement. It's just a really nice way to have those additional positive touch points with your fundraisers to encourage them along their fundraising journey. And setting this up is even simpler with ChatGPT. So I wanted to share this because I think this is pretty cool, but I actually didn't come up with any of this on my own. I asked ChatGPT to come up with these different fundraising milestones for these 4 different amounts raised for my event. And I told them that I wanted short labels, I wanted it to be creative, and I really like the emojis. And so it did this first one. I said, that's pretty good, but I don't want the quotation marks in here. So it redid it and it removed it. So I just copied and pasted these. And then for the badges, I told ChatGPT to create an image. And I told it what I was looking for. I said, do a 200 by 200 pixel image that's going to display well in a circle frame and highlight these different fundraising milestones. And it gave me these 4 badges, which you can hover over and just download. And so I was able to upload those into the dashboard for each of the milestones. And I always am nice to my AI, just in case. And then
Just in case,
just in case. And then I asked it to come up with all the notifications. And so it just came up with that. I asked for 4 to 5 lines of text. I didn't want to include a ton of content in these. These are meant to be kind of short, stylized notification emails. And I wanted to maintain, my event is called Cycle the Forest. So I wanted to maintain my tree theme. And I really like having emojis in the emails. And so it did this with the subject line. You'll see here I didn't love how it was doing it, so I asked it to redo and tie it to the event a little bit more closely. And it just carries that tree theme through. And it's as simple as, copying and pasting that notification email into here. And so it just really cuts the amount of time to set up this completely customized, very creative, on-brand experience for your fundraisers without really having to do more than 5 or 10 minutes of work.
Now, can we test ChatGPT live and see if it can do a $2,000 level?
Can you create a milestone for $2,000 raised for Cycle the Forest. Create the label, badge.
Moment of truth.
Yeah, it's still like it does take a few minutes to generate these. We'll see if this is on brand. Promising. Well, it's fantastic. Rainforest Hero. Yeah, so it gave me everything I needed. So we might as well set this up.
Yeah, and you'll have something to strive for now because you already hit all the other goals.
So what we can do is we can just add another one for amount raised. And all I do is I just copy it in from here. $2,000. And then I'm going to, download this image, which just downloads like this. I'm going to go grab that. And then I'm going to click save here. And then when I go back to the fundraiser rewards, I've got my new $2,000 thing that ChatGPT completely fabricated for us. And I can configure the milestone notification. And I'm going to go copy and paste the content that they came up with. And it's pretty clever. And I mean, I always recommend, spot checking what you've created. But this is pretty on brand. Save that, and we're set.
And now if you go back to your fundraising page,
I've got another milestone to achieve. Now I feel, after this, seeing this, I really feel motivated to become a rainforest hero. I don't want to just be a guardian. I want to save the entire rainforest. It really appropriately escalated, like how much I'm helping.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah. Pretty crazy, huh?